Hey guys, Viridian USA back here with you. We've showed you a couple videos along the way of how to disassemble the pump, how to reassemble the pump, some cleanings, and now we're going to show you the full depth of how to set the float, which is a very simple process. We're going to show you a couple tricks that's going to help you, and just an easy, precise way to do it, so you're not second guessing if the float's off. And as you all know, it's a very important part of the functionality of these pumps. So we're just going to start simply by, if you'll notice, we already have a air fitting, just a standard MPT, quarter-inch MPT air fitting. It just depends on what air you have in your workshop or at your site. We have this screwed in to the air inside, and all we're doing is testing this to make sure that we have no leaks in the seat of the air in poppet valve. Just going to put the air on. Right now we've got about 80 to 90 psi on this pump, which is about what you have in the field. And he can simulate this by raising the float up, and air would come in just as it normally would and discharge up the inner outlet tube. What we're listening for now, the reason we have this air on here, is because if we could hear any air ingression past the seat, we would know that we have a bad seat and something's not right. So we would have to go back, obviously disassemble the rocker as we've showed you in the past videos, and we would have to figure out what's going on with this seat. Seats are rarely go bad. That's why we didn't really go as far to show you how to do that in the disassembly video or the reassembly video, because these are put in pretty much at the factory when they're first built, and like I say, that you rarely have a problem with them. So we know that this one is good, it's not leaking, and then we can move on with the actual setting of the float. So he's basically, at first he's taken a 3mm Allen key, and he has two set screws, and what we're doing right now is adjusting the magnets in the pump. And there's a magnet that have tolerance levels of when these floats trip and open and close. So he's going to lower the pump down. He's going to check first and see that it free floats at this free floating mark in the middle, which you can see that it is free floating there, so it's marked correctly. And he's find his top trigger point and his bottom trigger point. Right now he's looking for the top trigger point. Notice that magnet is a little strong. As you can see, the float went down a little far. So now he's adjusting it, loosening that magnet up, and it's pretty much working the way it's supposed to be. On the way up, looking for the bottom trigger point, he's looking that the mark trips on the bottom line. And you want it to trip as close as you can. It's pretty easy to dial these magnets in to get them to trip exactly where you want them to. And it's very, doesn't take a lot. Just the smallest turn can make the biggest difference. So right there is pretty much, that's perfect, that's spot on, that's what he's looking for. So once he gets to that point, he's just going to simply, to ensure that these magnets aren't going to move, as I was saying earlier, we have our set screws, and that's just a matter of tightening the set screws back up. His magnets are secure, he feels good about it, the float's correct, the air poppet valve is seating properly, and we are ready for testing and to go back in the casing, reassemble, which we've showed you in the past. So, very important step, very easy step, as long as you know what you're doing. Hope this helps. Any more questions, you can always contact us via our website, and thanks for listening, guys.